So today we're going to be talking about why the quality of S tier is so important in Idle Heroes to those who spend a lot of money compared to an A+. You'd think there's just a little bit of a difference there, but there's one very big thing that S tiers can get and higher, and that is crowd control immunity of certain types, which makes them pretty much necessary for things like Star Expedition teams and PvP. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. We're going to be re-rolling our Betty, trying to get a very good copy of her. Let's see how this goes. So sadly, I've only been able to stock up on 30 of these because, well, I wasn't even planning on doing anything special with them, but we basically bought out the shop currently, and I think the reset timer on it is a little bit here. If we go to the Star Gem Mall, we gotta wait, the end of the next week, essentially, and then we can do it. But in the meantime, let's talk about this S tier hero and get some swapping going on. Hopefully we can hit one of them right away so I can show it to you. Divine Block, Faction Rule, Ship Crusher, not what we're looking for here. We are specifically looking for certain types of control immunity and not control immunity offset per se. Granted, nah, I don't like that copy. We need to get lucky here. We really do, because getting these extra rolls on them is very, very difficult. Or at the least, going for something like this, where we get Giant Killer. At least Giant Killer means more damage. If we can get both that and one of those control immunities, again, not this control immunity, you get a permanent control immunity for a certain type of control. And the big one we want to look for, not immune to shapeshifting, we want immune to twine, because Betty is all over the place when it comes to PvP. And the whole reason of using Betty is mainly PvP. 10 of these hammers down, that is not great for us. I'm kind of hoping we can hit something good. Well, Giant Killer, Holy Armor, Defier, if we're going for a very offensive copy, that's actually not too bad. That's actually going to make it a little bit of a question if we somehow get twine immunity on this with crappy rolls beside it. Oh my lord. Granted, the 22% heal effect, not that great. Faction Rule, Holy Armor, Ship Crusher, these are all things we don't really need. Halfway done with this. Still haven't seen anything outside of immunity to shapeshifting, and that really sucks. There we go. We got silence immunity, damage reduction, crit damage reduction, and skill damage. I don't think we care enough about silence immunity to save it. I feel like twine is going to be the one that we care about, and if we don't hit twine, then it's not really going to be that big of a deal. What else is on her? I feel like Giant Killer Defier makes for a very good offensive copy, and that could still sell at least decently. Oh my gosh, we got twine immunity. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I want to keep it. I think the right copy is just too bad. Besides the twine immunity, like, yeah, Divine Block can be okay. Faction Rule is completely irrelevant. I think we keep this one for right now. So let's finish these last 5 up. Maybe we still hit something good, but that's kind of the idea, is to get that twine immunity for PvP. Even this copy on the left, not amazing. It's still solid because Holy Armor does have some advantages and stuff, but Giant Killer Defier, this is very much an offensive copy. And our last hammer for today, no, not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. So overall, still an upgrade on the copy. The downside of doing this, though, is the fact that we're just gonna hold on to this Aspen for now, because this Aspen's copy is probably one of the shittiest bonus rolls I have ever seen. So in case you were wondering, on S tiers, mainly you get the 4th stat. Of course, you get the 4th bonus stat right there, which is pretty solid. But again, you have all of these different types of immunities, and a couple of them are important. Granted, on a Betty, not so much. If we're talking like a Phantom Defier Lana or some other heroes, then going for things like Petrify immunity, Silence immunity, those can be useful if we're talking about really late game strategies for Star Expedition. But you can see there's tons of different immunities here. There's tons of different stats. You got to pick what you're going for, offense or PvP. So the only thing for us left to do is decide what we are going to sell it for. However, I was looking earlier, and I don't think I saw a single Betty copy even listed. Let's check display just to see if there's anybody here. So there are a couple that are going to hit, and we kind of have to compare them to ours. This one is not a great copy overall. It has a really high stat roll here. pretty similar attack roll. This one has a better attack roll, and I would say overall better secondary bonuses here, because they also have Ship Crusher, which does damage against shields. It also has the fire, and oh wait, no, it doesn't have Giant Killer. Never mind, it has Hunter Focus. This is interesting because our copy has what? Oh, I have to go unlock it. Ours probably has the lower attack of them, but it has the better overall stats. Or sorry, it has the better secondary rolls on our hero copy, but 77.9 is definitely going to be lower. This is a question for us here of what we are going to do. So it's a lower attack than this, much better secondary stats than this, better secondary stats than this. I think it can actually sell for quite a bit, to be honest, which is why I'm going to take a little bit of a gamble. Usually I was going to say I wasn't going to list this right now, but I think I'm going to try listing it for 110 and sell it at 140. I highly doubt anybody in their right mind would actually spend the buyout. You never know, they could, but it looks like most of them have been selling for around 110, probably with better versions of them. Some of them have gone for lower, but it does seem like a lot of people are buying up Betty copies this week, which is a potential positive for us. Otherwise, we can just sit on it for a while. We can keep re-rolling it, maybe get that God tier roll, and then sell it for even more. We'll have to see. Now, since we have this done here, like I said, the couple decisions we have to make from earlier today's video is still on the table, whether we go and power up our Doom Terminator Vulcan via the Soul Gathering statue, or we go ahead and try to get some giant S tiers on some of our other light heroes, or just keep saving and maybe get an S tier on the next light hero. But like I was saying, I feel like when it comes to another light hero, we've had Assassin, what are you, Ranger? Yeah, Ranger, Warrior, Mage, Priest, Assassin. They've actually kept a pretty tight-knit rotation on this overall. I'm feeling like we're going to get another support hero, and I don't think we're going to need an S-tier support hero, to be honest. So that leads me to believe that maybe investing in like an Natalia could be pretty good, and I don't know if we actually even saw any on the auction house. Did we? There is one for a very lot amount, almost like an identical copy, like stats wise. The secondary roll really sucks on it though. None of them up there. Do we have any cheap ones coming up? 54. Like we could get probably an Eos and an Asmodee or something like that. I don't know. There's decisions to be made. We'll have to wait though until our copy sells first. Chances are this copy probably doesn't sell for what we're going to list it for, and we'll just keep re-rolling it in the weeks to come. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. We'll see how this turns out. Either way, it's a big amount of resources for our account, and I'll see you guys next time.